it was very well told. It was intelligent, and obviously, again, I've saw it 3 or 4 times, and there are new things that I get, like, oh, okay, so that's what that meant. Oh, okay, that's what that meant. And there's little things that you pick up, and obviously, the whole thing of like, what happens to these soldiers, so that's interesting. But I just felt that, the film, it needed, that je ne sais quoi, just that little sprinkle of dust on a visual level, to really give it its identity, to really give, like, again, you look at The Machinist, man. Again, a film that's like similar to this, The Machinist, it has a very, very clear visual look, like it's very dark, with like a little bit of light, and it's like a dark film, but the lights are very, very expressive, sort of like putting like like a lamp like in a completely dark night forest. Okay, I don't know what kind of analogy that is, but it's first thing that came to my mind. But yeah, man, I just think that when the film, when it's kicking off, when we're getting into the middle and stuff really happening to Idris Elba, he's stuff is happening to, I don't want to really ruin things for those who haven't seen it, but when stuff begins to happen, and like stuff begins to get a bit weird and strange, I'm thinking that you needed to be, as a viewer, my mind needs to be in his mind, sort of like knowing, okay, how does he view these things? Because remember, man, people who are mad or people who are crazy, they view things in a very different way. But it's just not even about being a little different, because remember, we are in an artistic field. I mean, film is an artistic field, and what makes film interesting is that it's an art form, and the best films in the world are films that they attack you with an artistic license. They attack you with an artistic license, and they are a bit, off the wall, a bit, offhanded, and so I just felt that you needed more of a visual sense that this is that kind of film, because I mean that's just for me, personally, I just felt like it's needed that. But yeah, man. But I think again, it's like in films like this, really, it's all about a balance. It's all about a balance. And I think again, for me, the best thing I'd have to say is because you look at something like, because I think the two things to compare this to, you look at Jacob's Ladder and you look at Manchurian Candidates. In Jacob's Ladder, man, it was completely about this guy's mind and his psychosis. The whole thing of what's happening in this army thing, it's okay, you have a few of the technicalities of the story, but really the heart of the story was really about this guy's head is messed up. It's like, where is this guy? What's happening to this guy? So it was a completely psychological film, and it didn't really even try to say, okay, well, we're trying to be political, And do you know what the reason for that is? The reason for that is that because of how it looks visually. Because visually it feels very dreamy, very warm, and where am I? I'm like in a different kind of otherworldly place. So you don't even think that, okay, no, I'm watching one of these, like, I'm watching like, what's it called, like an All the President's Men. Like this is like a hardcore political thing. Like, just because of how it looks, you're like, oh, whoa, man, you're just, mesmerized by just all these visuals. You're like, man, what the heck is happening? But then you watch something like Manchurian Candidate, which it has some of those scenes, but it's very much real. And I think the way it's filmed is very much similar to the way like Legacy is filmed. But in Manchurian Candidates, like there is a clear balance between obviously this guy's psychosis and a lot of detail into what's happened to Denzel Washington and his men during that war, and whether Liv Schreiber, whether he really was a true hero. And so you're learning about, okay, what really happened on that battlefield, and they're getting all of the different files, and all of the different soldiers are basically telling their accounts of what happened, and you're really given a meat of a story. And I feel like that was what Legacy was lacking. That it had it, but it's just presented it. And when you present it, you think that no, I want to know more. I want to know more about Dark Hammer. I want to know more about what really happened. I want to know more about the relationship between Satalenko and Eamon Walker's character. I want to know more about that. So, like, you want to know more of the technicalities of the story, because once you know more of the technicalities, therefore you can sympathize and empathize with the character. Hence why, obviously, when you see the ending, it's for me. It didn't really work because I felt like there was not enough work done for me to really empathize with the character, man. But see, those are just the bad parts. But I think all in all, man, we're living in a day and an age where movies are not very great. They're not really that cool. And for me, legacy, man. I mean, I will struggle to find, if you're going to find many. You'll find a few better films, but you will struggle to find many better films than this. You know, I mean, the writing is on point. You know, the directing is on point. The acting is on point. You know, everything is pretty much on point. It really is a solid film. And for me, I'd recommend you to get it, man. You know, it's a good film. And again, man, for me, I hate Tyler Perry films. I think Tyler Perry is just pretty much just giving blacks, and especially black actors who are trying to work hard, a bad name. And I know a black actor who has said that, man, he hates what Tyler Perry is doing and what he pretty much stands for. And say something like this, like, wow, man, you're looking like Eamon Walker, Idris Elba, what's it called, Joe Holt, you know, Clark Peters, like, man, yeah, they're all black and they're acting in this very deep psychological kind of film, which you don't really see a lot of blacks do. And, you know, the performances they give, it's interesting, you know, because it's different. Because normally you will normally see whites in these roles, and we've seen whites in these roles for hundreds. I mean, I've already named Jacob's Ladder, you know, and there's what's it called? You can call Born on the 4th of July, you can Rambo, you know, but Stallone, he's half black. So yeah, but yeah, but just by having this, and especially obviously, you know, Thomas Keenan being like, you know, a black director as well, man, it's just something different. And I think that, you know, Legacy is, you know, offers something different, and it is different from those other films of this genre. And yeah, man, I mean, I just think that, you know, it's deep. And again, you know, for me, like, I just think that, you know, just like with those Nolan films like Following and Memento, you know, it's really good to have films where, you know, it's can give you repeated viewings and you can notice different things. And again, you know, Idris Elba, he gives so much, and there's so much subtlety, and there's so many layers he gives to this character that, you know, that every time you watch it again, you can pick out different things that his character does, you know. But yeah, man, you know, I have talked a lot, you know. I am now almost getting dry, you know. But yeah, man, it will be interesting to see, obviously, what Mr. Thanos Ikimi does. You know, obviously, if people have listened to the Q&A, we hear that a sci-fi flick is on the horizon. And I mean, you know, if you can get, you know, your Delroy Lindos, your Jeffrey Wrights, you know, in there, you know, that'll be granddad. And even Idris Elba again, because I mean, Idris Elba, you know, given a performance like this, I just feel like, you know, this guy, he has a lot to offer. And I think this guy, he's pretty much on the cusp of being like a mega star. You know, so yeah, man, you know, that is all that she wrote. Ba-da-da-da bing, ba-da-da-da boom.